Welcome to my channel, Polymath. Southeast Asia's wealthiest country, Singapore, is a small nation that relies heavily on its unique development path, robust education system, and world-class business environment to become one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Despite its lack of natural resources to depend on, Singapore's stable political and economic environment has attracted numerous foreign companies and wealthy individuals. According to data, Singapore is the third largest destination for wealthy individuals, following the United Arab Emirates and Australia. However, in 2023, this country, which has always welcomed the wealthy with open arms, implemented drastic measures to cool down its property market. The Singaporean government announced a series of market-shaking measures in April 2023. For local citizens purchasing a second residential property, the stamp duty increased from 17% to 20%. For the third and subsequent properties, the tax rate further rose from 25% to 30%. The conditions for overseas buyers were even more daunting, with taxes skyrocketing from 30% to 60% of the property price. If the property was purchased under a company or trust name, the tax rate increased from 35% to 65%. To prevent market panic, the Singaporean government chose to announce the news late at night and implement the measures immediately the next day, causing many wealthy individuals who had planned to purchase properties in the country to postpone their plans. Given Singapore's small land area and dense population, the government's measures to cool down the property market may appear reasonable. However, the specific considerations behind this significant policy shift at this particular time remain unknown. But if we look back at the country's past trajectory, we will find that this policy shift is, in essence, a significant turning point. Singapore, lacking natural resources, has relied on external funding and viewed foreign wealthy individuals and international companies as a form of protection. As a result, the country has long welcomed foreign capital. In 2004, Singapore introduced a global investor program aimed at attracting high-net-worth individuals. According to the authorities' plan, by investing above a certain threshold or establishing a family office in Singapore, individuals could obtain permanent residency. Tempted by this golden-like visa opportunity, many wealthy individuals have transferred their assets to Singapore. International banks such as Credit Suisse have also flocked to Singapore's financial district. To cater to these ultra-high-net-worth individuals, Singapore has a dedicated private jet terminal and is home to the world's first physical diamond exchange. In 2017, an international think tank estimated that Singapore successfully attracted over $1 trillion in foreign funds and predicted that by 2028, the country would become the world's largest international financial center. The influx of funds from overseas has driven Singapore's economic growth. According to official statistics from 2011 to 2022, the Global Investor Program created over 20,000 job opportunities in Singapore, most of which were high-paying positions in technology or research. However, as Singapore has ventured further along the path of immense wealth, unexpected circumstances have also emerged. Since 2018, the world has entered a new era of turmoil. First, it was then US President Trump who launched a trade war against China, turning the market war from the economic field into geopolitics, causing significant impacts on the global business environment. This was followed by the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, which affected global logistics, capital flows, and human mobility. The world economy quickly shifted, and just when the world had finally endured the post-pandemic era, the Russia-Ukraine war broke out in 2022. The warring countries controlled a significant amount of food and energy, leading to a surge in prices for commodities and oil and gas. Over the past 4 years, various events have disrupted the international trade order, causing entrepreneurs worldwide to seek safe havens overseas to protect their assets. Singapore, with its stable political environment and low tax rates, has become the preferred destination for the wealthy. In 2019, Sir James Dyson, the British billionaire and founder of Dyson, spent a whopping 70 million Singapore dollars on a luxury home in Singapore. Not only did Dyson buy a house, but he also announced plans to relocate the company headquarters from the UK to Singapore. A year later, Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater Associates, also opened a family office in Singapore. In 2021, Google co-founder Sergey Brin came to Singapore to establish a branch of his family office. In addition to Western entrepreneurs, a large number of wealthy individuals from China have also targeted Singapore as a destination for relocation. Following the 2019 Hong Kong protests and subsequent developments, the safety of Hong Kong as an Asian financial center was questioned. Shortly thereafter, Chinese leader Xi Jinping reaffirmed the policy of common prosperity, leading many Chinese billionaires to consider overseas havens. Statistics show that in recent years, nearly half of the clients establishing family offices in Singapore come from Greater China. The growing population of wealthy individuals has brought a new face to Singapore's socio-economic landscape, but it has also led to phenomena that increasingly deviate from the official expectations of the country. For example, some Chinese billionaires have purchased 20 properties in Singapore's luxurious Sentosa Cove area for a total of 85 million Singapore dollars. Sales of million-dollar luxury cars in Singapore have also increased by over 50%. Despite a 40% increase in annual membership fees to $670,000, the high-end Sentosa Golf Club continues to attract foreign wealthy individuals. While wealthy individuals from various countries are moving to Singapore, the local population seems to be living in a different world. In 2022, private residential prices in the country rose by 8.6%, marking the sixth consecutive year of increase. From 2021 to 2023, both public housing and private residential rental costs surged by approximately 40%. Additionally, in September 2022, Singapore's core inflation rate reached a 14-year high, with prices of food, services, retail, and other goods all increasing. Under these circumstances, grievances began to build up among the population, with many locals complaining that while wealthy foreign visitors caused price hikes, they did not receive any benefits. Some international perspectives also suggest that foreign hot money has brought two major impacts to Singapore, leading to increased consumption, rising prices, and skyrocketing property rental costs. The escalating costs not only affect local residents but also strain certain businesses. According to a survey, nearly 70% of companies are considering relocating their employees out of Singapore due to the skyrocketing rent. In order to alleviate public grievances, the Singaporean government finally took action. In March 2023, the Economic Development Board of Singapore announced an increase in the threshold for permanent residency from 2.5 million Singapore dollars to a minimum of 10 million Singapore dollars. A month later, the Singaporean authorities introduced the mentioned anti-speculative property measures. At first glance, the purpose of these policies seemed to be increasing the barriers for wealthy foreigners to settle in the country, suppressing the rising prices of goods and housing, and appeasing the people. However, upon further examination of the data, it is evident that the Singaporean government's considerations may be more far-reaching. Let's first look at the commonly complained about rising prices. In reality, these may not necessarily have a direct correlation with foreign billionaires. Data indicates that the super-rich tend to drive the luxury goods market, which is not directly related to the general population's cost of living. The authorities currently believe that the main source of price inflation in the country comes from external factors, as Singapore lacks natural resources and relies on imports for essential commodities such as fuel and food. Therefore, it is highly susceptible to international price fluctuations. The Russia-Ukraine war and the COVID-19 pandemic, which caused supply chain disruptions and shortages, are the main reasons for price increases in Singapore. Additionally, during the COVID-19 pandemic, restrictions on importing foreign labor resulted in wage increases domestically. Combined with increased domestic consumer demand after the pandemic, these factors created a perfect storm effect, further driving up prices in the country. As for the continuously rising property prices, the properties sought by the super-rich relocating to Singapore are vastly different from those of the general population. They operate in different market segments. Furthermore, Singapore's home ownership rate exceeds 90%, indicating that housing prices in the country cannot be considered as skyrocketing to the point where people cannot afford them. Considering the above 2 points, the simultaneous rise in housing prices and consumer prices in Singapore may not necessarily be solely attributed to the influx of foreign billionaires. The heavy-handed approach by the Singaporean government towards them may have more significant underlying reasons. Authoritative media outlet Bloomberg's investigation found that the Singaporean government initially expected foreign billionaires to enter the country with their funds, thereby boosting the local financial market and employment opportunities. However, the results turned out to be disappointing. Data shows that in recent years, a large number of Chinese billionaires investing in Singapore have already diversified their assets globally, and establishing a family office in Singapore does not necessarily shift their investment focus to the country. Moreover, these ultra-high net worth individuals are very adept at utilizing banking systems and exploiting loopholes in Singapore's investment thresholds. In other words, while the billionaires spend money and consume locally, they do not bring the expected investment benefits to the government. For the Singaporean government, they need to find ways to derive more sustainable income from the billionaires, and this may be the underlying reason behind their policy shift. If you're interested in this topic, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like our channel, remember to subscribe and share. Thanks for your watching.